Community. Welcome to I Am Yoga Community Live. Good to see you. Good to be back. Back here with some breath work and meditation. We're going to get into some coherent breathing today. And before we do that, we just want to share a little bit about the importance of coherent breathing. So first of all, many people are in a consistent state of incoherence, right? Between the central nervous system, their heart rhythm or their heartbeat, and their breathing, and their emotions. So that's what I mean by incoherence. So your breathing, your heartbeat or your heart rhythm, your central nervous system, and there's an incoherence between them, meaning they are not in synchrony, right? The heartbeat does not reflect what you are thinking or what you are feeling, or your emotions are not in tune with your heart or your mind or your central nervous system. And because of that, there's incoherence happening, right? You are not breathing correctly. You can't. So the body is physically in the present, but emotionally trapped in fear or survival, resentment, guilt, or lack. So over a period of time, the nervous system memorizes this and these emotional states, and until the body begins living as the past instead of the infinite possibilities in your imagination. So in other words, let me give you a very good example. So if I wake up every morning and my first thought is survival, right? My first emotion is survival. I got to go out here in this world, in this 3D, and I got to survive. I got to grind. I just broadcast to my own body and being that I lack. I just told myself that I'm lacking. I just told myself basically that I'm reinforcing my own self-doubt. I'm telling you from experience too. This isn't just yoga knowledge or neuroscience or in the quantum reality. This is an actual fact that I've done to myself. Whereas I have opened my eyes. It's even deeper than that. I tell you how deep it is. Because I was an individual that would wake up and realize that I had to go out into the world and grind and survive and do whatever it is I needed to do. That everything that my eyes saw, birds, trees, leaves, my mother, my children, my dog, my wife, if I had one. My point is, they reinforce the same thing because this is what my central nervous system was seeing. The reality that I was living in, the reality that I saw, the reality that I was seeing was reality that I lacked. I felt that I lacked within. Therefore, when everything I saw reinforced it in my own central nervous system. This is why we close our eyes when we meditate, right? To reset. This is pretty deep if you understand what I'm saying. So, coherence begins when the breath slows down and the heart rate, when the breath and the heart rate slows down. Now you start to have a coherence happening between the central nervous system, the breath, and the heart, right? Because that slow rhythmic is now saying, okay, I hear you. It's receiving the broadcast. The signal is now being caught. And the mind begins working together instead of against each other. So the heart, mind, so body and soul, let's just say heart, mind, body, and soul is now in synchrony with each other, opposed to working against each other. So from this perspective of abundance, prosperity, abundance, and you got a lot of people on social media talking about prosperity, abundance, and manifestation. Rightly so. And I respect it. But the point is, from this perspective, prosperity, abundance, and manifestation is not about money. right? It's not about the tangible things. Prosperity, abundance, and manifestation is about a regulated nervous system, no longer addicted to stress, fear, or limitations, or lack. That's prosperity. So in yoga, this mirrors the ancient teachings and understanding that the breath regulates consciousness, conscious breathing. As the breath becomes rhythmic, the mind becomes clearer. And as the mind becomes clearer, perception changes. As perception changes, actions change. The breath is the bridge between it all. Breathing, breath work. You know, if I'm not breathing correctly, right? Let's say I'm breathing from my chest. I'm breathing very shallow, right? I'm broadcasting to my central nervous system, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Generally, I'm breathing in stress mode. I'm breathing in, it's a lot of tension. I'm under duress. My body is under duress. Even though it appears as nothing is wrong. Now, if I'm breathing abdominally, if I'm breathing chronically, and I'm taking these deep, gentle breaths, it is an instant change in inner environment and outer environment. You can feel it. You experience. You have that experience. With that being said, this is the final thing we're going to read. Then we're going to do some coherent breathing. So finally, many people unknowingly condition their bodies into the emotional experience of lack. You literally condition your body to do that. So if you would do like the way I used to live, like I used to be intimidated by the world. I used to be afraid of the world, right? I had to go out there and survive. I didn't know if I was going to prison. I didn't know if I was going to get killed. I didn't know. I didn't know, right? I wasn't conscious of my inner being, of my sovereignty. So whenever I woke up in the morning, this was mine. This is what I was feeling. Especially as an adult with responsibilities. So, and my vision, you know, even though I would see beautiful things, you know, birds and sunshine, sunlight, and water and rain falling, you know, I felt insecure. This was the system that I was broadcasting. This was the signal that I was giving off. And guess what? That's what I received back. I missed the opportunity because I wasn't prepared for it. Because if I'm broadcasting fear, if I'm broadcasting insecurity, that's what I'm going to get back. And that's what I got back. If that makes sense. So people wake up thinking about bills, stress, rejection, fear, disappointment, and survival. Over time, the body, we went through this already. So the body memorizes this scarcity so deeply that it begins expecting limitations before opportunity even appears. That's pretty deep to understand. You know, if you are living in a state of fear, if you are living in a state of uncertainty, if you are living in a state of I don't know, I ain't sure, right? You won't even see the opportunity when it presents itself. Maybe you will, but most of the time you won't, because your central nervous system is under duress. Your heart is under duress. Your organs and systems are not working together. They're not at peace. They don't have the harmonic symphony going on so that you can recognize opportunity when it comes for your prosperity, your abundance, and manifestation. So let's keep going. According to this teaching, incoherence between the heart, brain, emotions, and the nervous system keeps people trapped in that loop, in the same reality, because the body continues reproducing the same chemistry of the past. Right? I don't like to use the word loop because loop doesn't explain what you're going through. Loop explains the action. Yes, you're in that loop. But lack Lack is a better word, right? Because you feel like you're lacking something. You will be conscious enough to feel like you're lacking something. So, according to this teaching, incoherence between the heart, the brain, your emotions, and your nervous system keeps people trapped in the same reality because the body continues responding to the chemistry of the past. That's your broadcast. That's your signal. That's what you're giving off. That's the person you're going to meet. That's the woman you're going to draw. That's the man you're going to draw to you. That's the lack of opportunity that's going to come your way. Coherence begins when the breath, the heart rhythm, and intention, attention, comes into synchronicity. Synchronize. It syncs together through slow rhythmic breathing and elevated emotions like gratitude, appreciation, abundance, compassion, and love. The nervous system begins shifting from survival into creation, into your creative centers. Now, this is deep. What are we saying? One breath of gratitude is greater than 1,000 pulls on the blunt. One breath of gratitude is greater than a sip on a $25,000 bottle of Hennessy. One breath of gratitude is greater than any pill or drug that you can take. One breath of gratitude. The life force is the seed itself, and the seed is in the life force. What I mean by that is that when you take a seed and you plant it, it grow to a tree, a vegetable, you turn around, you take the same seeds from the same plant, you replant it, right? It's the same with the breath. When you breathe and you plant a seed of gratitude in it, you reset your DNA, right? You reset your genetics, right? You have a reset happening. You have a harmony going on that you can feel instantly. You feel it instantly, and I'm gonna prove it to you today. So so from this teaching, prosperity, abundance, and manifestation first begins as an internal state before it becomes an external experience. Prosperity, abundance, and manifestation is an internal experience before it becomes an external experience. When the body no longer is overwhelmed by stress and feeling like it lacks, you don't lack nothing. This spacesuit is equipped with this is divine technology. Think about it. I call it a spacesuit, right? The body is a spacesuit. Earth is in space. Earth is literally revolving in space. There's nobody turning Earth around on a stick. Earth is rotating by divine decree of the creator of all the planet, the sun. Our sun not only powers Earth, gives Earth life, but our sun powers an entire universe. So do you know the intelligence the sun must have not to burn Earth up? How it's managing and distributing that energy, its broadcast, right? Its signal to the planet so that the trees, we can have food and plants and animals. Think about that. Now think about the reality of some of this stuff. Of course, this is what's really happening. So while the body is no longer overwhelmed by stress and lack, your perception becomes clearer. Creativity increases. Your creative center is open. Your confidence increases. You know you can meet this challenge. Intuition sharpens, right? Your intuition sharpens. You know which direction to flow, and you know who to stay away from. Opportunities become more visible, right? You stop missing opportunities to help or to be grateful or to be thankful or abundance, wealth. And your actions become more aligned with this prosperity, abundance, and manifestation. I'm living proof of it. I am living proof the truth to what I am speaking to. So in this teaching, abundance is not merely attracting money magically. Try to get that out your mind. Try to get that a lot of things you hear on social media about prosperity, abundance, and manifestation. It's not accurate, right? So abundance is not merely attracting money magically. It is becoming emotionally, mentally, and physiologically coherent enough to stop reproducing lack within. That's it. That's it. Stop feeling like you lack something. You don't lack anything. This spacesuit is amazing. This spacesuit it comes with a warranty. Make no mistake about it. I'm laughing, but it's true. You getting up out of that spacesuit. We all are. Right? We leaving here. In other words, you're going to get out the spacesuit. It's time to go. But in the meantime, while you in this spacesuit can heal you. It can fix anything. This spacesuit has the same technology that is growing our food. The same technology that is causing trees and plants and animals and the seasons and sunlight and moonlight. It's the same technology that's inside of this spacesuit. Earth don't catch a cold. Does the Earth catch a cold? No. Earth heals itself. So does the spacesuit. It has the potential to heal itself. My point to you is that in this teaching, abundance is not prosperity. Everybody's chasing that bag. Everybody want that bag. Everybody want that bag. But the point is until you get the bag within, until you get that money within, right? Until you start breathing correctly, right? If you start breathing correctly, it will reset your DNA and your genetics. It will reset your central nervous system and your heart. And certain habits will start falling off you, like stealing, lying, manipulation, cheating. Like these habits, the gravity of those habits will no longer be necessary because your energy centers, right, your proper breathing has opened up the channels so that this divine technology can start working. So the world reality that you was holding inside, deceit, larceny, it becomes too heavy and it gets digested and processes out the body, and gratitude takes its place. This is how this spacesuit was designed. So the body stops signaling. So the body's broadcast is no longer I lack. I'm lacking, right? Because I don't have an education. Please. There's plenty of people who are fulfilled, not successful. That's a finite concept. There are plenty of people who are fulfilled that don't have a GED, that don't have a high school education, they can't read, right? Because they didn't feel that they lacked anything. They meet the challenge of themselves and our world, and they become very, very fulfilled. So the body stops broadcasting I lack, stops sending a signal that I lack, that it lacks, and begins signaling gratitude, openness, regulation, and endless possibilities. See, that's endless possibilities. You are capable of endless. You can do the impossible. I'll tell you a quick story before we get into this breathwork real quick. So when I was in prison, yes, I was in prison. Educational purposes, I'm gonna share this story. I met a brother named Infinite, and Infinite got life. He ain't never coming out. Well, he got life in prison. Hopefully he gets out. And me and the brother used to talk all the time. I was like, damn, man, what you gonna do with your time? He told me he was gonna do the impossible. I was like, all right, what's that? So at the time, this is in New York State. At the time, they were sentencing immigrants who were getting kicked out the country. And to prison. And when they went to prison, when they went before the parole board was hitting them with 24 months. That's the max in New York at the time. You can get hit at the parole board, right? They'll max you out. And he thought that was wrong. Wait a minute, you kicking the man out the country. So you make him do the minimum. Then when he comes before the parole board, you hit him with 2 more years, or you make him max out. Then you kick him out. He thought it was excessive punishment. So he fought. He fought for these immigrants and won. I don't know what the state is in New York now. But this brother told me he was going to do the impossible, and he did it. He actually won. He did this for someone else. This wasn't for himself. He did this for someone else. So again, this brother felt he didn't lack anything. He had a life sentence in prison, and he did the impossible. And so can you. Don't go to prison. I'm not talking about in prison. Finally, in the yoga language, this mirrors the idea that the breath regulates consciousness itself. A regulated breath produces a regulated mind, and a regulated mind changes how one experiences and responds to reality. What reality are you waking up to and looking at every day? When you get up in the morning and your eyes open, what are you feeling? Are you feeling fear? Are you feeling intimidated? Are you feeling pain? You know, what do you feel? You know, are you feel tired? Are you uncertain? Are you concerned? Shift that. You start, take a deep breath of gratitude. And as soon as your eyes open, breathe in gratitude. And hold that frequency, hold that vibration of gratitude. Hold it. And let that fill your day. Breathe one breath of gratitude and reset your DNA. Stop feeling. This is about emotions. Emotions are very powerful. This is about how you've been feeling. Shift how you've been feeling, right? Change your feeling. Use your inner powers. You can literally change how you feel. You can shift how you feel. Feel grateful. Feel powerful. Feel invincible. Feel encouraged, right? That you can do the impossible and reset your DNA, reset your genetics, reset your central nervous system, reset your breathing. And here's a beautiful practice that you can do any time of the day, morning, afternoon, night. It's called coherent breathing. So, and we're going to do it right now. Sit with a naturally curved spine. We're going to do it for 5 minutes. Then we're going to get out of here. Sit with a naturally curved spine. The spine is naturally curved. It's not straight. Find your glute bones, right? Tilt your pelvis, anterior tilt your pelvis. And you'll find if you have to slump, you know, get comfortable, find some pillows. You can lay down for this breath work. And you're going to breathe through the nose only. You're going to relax your facial muscles. You're going to relax. Get very relaxed. Uncontract your muscles, right? Stay. And you're going to breathe in gratitude. For 6 seconds, you're going to hold it in for 7 seconds. And then you're going to exhale deeply for 8 seconds. And ground yourself, your home, and earth, and the universe, in gratitude. Then you're going to repeat. Inhale gratitude for 6 seconds. Hold it in for 7 seconds. And then you're going to exhale for 8 seconds. This is called coherent breathing. And this will cause harmony with all your physiological systems and all the organs that govern those systems, right? So we're talking about a synchronicity here. We are synchronizing our organs and systems together in gratitude to change our reality, right? Here we go. Inhale for 6 seconds. First of all, exhale. Inhale for close your eyes. You must close your eyes because the same reality that you've been seeing has been reinforcing your lack, your self-doubt, right? So close your eyes. Inhale for 6 seconds. Hold your breath for 7. Exhale for 8. Inhale gratitude for 6 seconds. Hold in gratitude for 7 seconds. Exhale gratitude for 8 seconds. And you're going to repeat this 5 times. Go. Wiggle your toes around. Wiggle your toes around. Come back to this reality. That was a higher reality. If you was inhaling gratitude, you transported yourself to a higher dimension of reality. Yes. Sit in that for a moment. Just sit still for about 20 seconds. And feel your body. Feel your nostrils. Check in with your nostrils. See how they feel. Check in with your body and being. See how it feels. Feel that clarity, that awareness, that calmness, that safety, that security. That is coherent breathing. That is the breath you want to breathe with when you walk out that door, when you wake up in the morning. Right? Yes. Right? Get rid of lack. Get rid of lack. You don't lack anything. Stop telling yourself, stop doubting yourself. Especially women. Our sisters, stop doubting. I know some of y'all single moms and the struggle is on. I get it. Right? You got to meet that challenge of yourself and our world. You can do it. You can do it. Look at the women who have done it before you. Right? I mean, it's not going to be all peaches and cream. No, it's not. Right? That's not why we're here. We're here to learn lessons in higher love. But this spacesuit is equipped to heal you and to carry you and get you through this journey. Remember that. This time I have that. I got it. Okay, it's time to get out of here. It's been a blessing. Live on TikTok tomorrow. I Am Yoga Studios is hosting its first panel. Yes, a 4-person panel. It's about health and wealth. Our health is our wealth. The name of it's called the Higher Self Lounge. I had to look and see what this is. I couldn't remember what it was. It's called the Higher Self Lounge. But we have Scars Heal. We have Blood Type. Brother Walter, who's a hypnotherapist, very good one. But he comes and talks about the real science of healing. And Asali, who talks about healing herbs. So our health is our wealth. Our health is our wealth, and our health is an attack. So live tomorrow at 6 a.m. on TikTok. And you have my blessings. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, DM me directly. The next session Thursday is going to be a headstand stretch clinic. We're going to do some breathwork and meditation in the headstand. Now, actually, what we might do is work on the headstand alignment. First, we got to learn the headstand. So maybe we'll go back to the beginning and I give a tutorial on beginning a headstand for beginners. Okay? You have my blessings. I love you. And see you Thursday. Namaste.